I cannot believe they're actually going to move our house. It's actually going to roll down the road.
In less than 2 weeks, this exceptionally heavy brick house in Arcadia, Florida, must move out. Concrete slab and all.
I didn't even...
Jenna and Michael got the house for free because the landowners want to build a new home here instead. Even though the house was free, the move is not.
It's going to cost probably $100,000 to actually have the home moved and set up, but in order to build a home, it would cost $200,000, so we're saving a large amount of money.
To start, the crew must lift the massive house out of the ground without damaging the concrete slab or brick walls. Once loaded onto wheels, the heavy house must cross half a mile of sandy Florida pasture. Then, if it survives the pasture, the house must move down a highway with plenty of trouble overhead.
Our biggest problem, I think, is the power lines. The electricity near the roof of the house.
They're generating like 14,000 volts. We've got to maintain 4 feet clearance. And so the power company wants to set poles higher so we can go into that easily.
And once utility lines are raised, the huge house can hit the highway, but things don't get any easier.
We got 2 sharp turns to make, a left 90-degree turn and a right 90-degree.
Before the brick house can be lifted and loaded onto wheels, the concrete slab must be dug out of the ground. As dirt is dug out, jacks are put in its place to hold up the house.
It's hard to believe that a jack every 6 feet underneath the house can support the weight of the whole house.
It's going to take a special piece of equipment to dig out the pool side of the house.
We call it a snout or shovel that fits on the end of the loader so we can reach back as far as we can.
Daylight is running out, but the digging cannot be rushed. Finally,
We've got our dirt dug out between the house and the pool. Everything's right on schedule.
hydraulic jacks under the house will do the heavy lifting.
Pressure's on.
They're going to very slowly pick the house up.
We'll raise that house about 7 feet from where it is now.
One of the most important things is to keep the house as level, no jarring as much as possible.
We don't want the building to crack at all. It's all the same all the way across.
It's pretty crazy.
Sit your safety blocks in there.
The house is lifted.
It's so tall. They brought it up like 6 or 7 feet.
But if it's heavier than estimated, it could make for an even more difficult move.
He thinks it's like 220 tons.
217 tons.
Really?
We got it picked up and it weighed 217 tons. Perfect. Right on the money.
The crew must build a road in front of the house as it moves.
We'll run on steel plates the whole way. We get off the plate, dollies could sink in the soil.
And the only way to move such a heavy load is by remote control.
We won't have any vehicles pulling on the building at all. It'll be all self-propelled. It's like a hydrostatic system on a lawnmower.
All right, tighten up, Jane.
It's just crazy to see a house of that size moving.
Hopefully everything gets there all intact. Wow.
It's almost noon now. The house has moved probably 100 feet from where it originally sat.
And there are still 500 feet to go before the house clears the pasture.
There's 4 fences that have to be taken down.
Put it right here in the middle.
Just cut it right in the middle.
The first fence is down. But there's an even bigger problem overhead.
There's a...
And until utility crews can come out, this is as far as the house can go. Jenna Daraso and her fiance Michael Brooker's huge 217-ton brick house has only moved 200 feet of a 1-mile move through Arcadia, Florida, to their 5 acres of land. Nearly an hour and a half after the move day began, the power company arrives.
We're ready to roll underneath that wire.
Does the gaps here on the fence look wide enough to be able to get the house through?
Yeah, it looks good. We're gonna squeeze right through.
The fence here we have to go through, there's only about a foot on each side.
But the tightest squeeze is up above.
When it comes up to go over the driveway here, that's gonna bring it closer to the power lines.
Ready? Yeah. Slow as you can.
And the rain isn't making things any easier.
We got a wet metal roof. We wouldn't want any arcing to come through that line to the metal roof because we'd light up the whole building. Yeah, that'd be scary. Can I come this way a little bit?
You're good there, I'm good.
How far is it from the chimney?
Woo, woo, woo. Easy, baby. May not be too bad.
There was about 6 inches, even less than that.
And now there are only 60 feet left to go to reach the highway.
It's pretty unnerving to see your future home just driving through a cow pasture.
Jenna Daraso and her fiancé Michael Brooker's huge brick house has been parked overnight by the side of a busy highway.
That is our house, our home, and I hope that nothing happens to it.
The house must finish the last half mile of a 1-mile move through Arcadia, Florida today.
It's just a tighter turn. We don't have a whole lot of room. The main concern is watching those dollies. We got to make sure we don't get a dolly hung up.
James, come ahead real easy.
They are pulling the house out across the road.
It's moving, it's coming true for sure. I never would have dreamed how exciting this would have been. We got it moving now, finally.
It looks really good now. It's moving along fast.
At just a quarter of a mile from Jenna and Michael's land,
Got one more bad turn.
the house must clear a sharp 90-degree turn to get off the highway.
All right, listen, we're going to start this turn. Bring this back this way. We don't want to be stuck like we were before.
The house is about 3 feet from the power poles. That's a very big concern because we surely don't want this house sliding into the power poles and live wires. Those other 2 lines are a lot lower. They're like right above the house.
Hey, we're on the wire. Come easy, watch the wire. Come back. Come back, come back.
Finally made our turn. We're on the road headed toward the lot.
They're moving right along now. I think this is the fastest they've gone. I don't want to be trampled by my own house. We're on our property.
Now you own it. It's all yours.
The big part's done. It's moved, it's on our property. This house feels like our home now. No cracks.
Everything looks great.
The house survived. It's really in good shape.
It's like a brand new home. It's going to get to live a whole new life.
It's just really, really amazing. It's a once-in-a-lifetime thing. And one day we'll live to tell our grandkids about it.